Very good day, everybody. I am your personal funky sim pilot. My name is Arkady Gidzenko, and I will be your captain for today's flight. I'd like to welcome you to another video, live streaming on the YouTube. Tonight, we're going to do a night flight from Brussels to Zurich, from Brussels in Belgium, Europe, to Zurich in Switzerland. I've done some preparations to the aircraft before we go. So let's just hop on in. There is a beautiful moon. You can see it right there. So it's going to look. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful night. So let's just hop on in the aircraft. I've done the initial setup for now. Most of the things, the cold start procedure. So let's have a look at precisely where it was that we were. So I did the diff-rep, the setup of the MCDO, so that is all in there. So I think we got the fuel on the board, and the passengers actually have also boarded. The doors are closed. You can have a look here at the passengers. Planned 149er, boarded 149er people. So we're carrying the passengers now. There is actually a passenger information list. It's really cool. So you got Arleta Chrissy in seat 01 Alpha. In the business class, your status blue. And are there also people without status maybe? Key corporate, gold guest list. Oh, who is that? Led key. Okay. Manuela Tara, Corbin Brena, Alicia Freida, Corbett Tuesday, Tambra Mario, Dove Rosetti. I guess you got all these names here. That's actually pretty cool. Looks like everybody does have a status. Can you also sort maybe by status? Is there extra info? WCBW, not sure what that is. This one is a staff person. WCOB. So no clue what this is, but it looks cool nonetheless. Okay, so let's see ground services. So I guess we could remove the chokes. So let's first have a visual and see if the parking brake is set, which it is. Let's get this out of the way. Okay, so we're going to remove the chokes, and the stairs, they can go as well. GPU will still need. It's right here outside the aircraft, because we're not on the APU yet. So let's start up our internal power, I think. So look, everything is okay. Let's not have it too warm in the cabin. So let's turn on the APU now. You wait a couple of seconds, then you press the start button. Turn on the seatbelt signs, and let's also put on the beacon and the wing and nav goes to, because we are about to start our engines. Ground control lights we can turn off for now, and I'm also going to open up the fuel pumps. External, you can hear the APU starting up. That is just always a cool sound. So we got the Swiss livery. This is one of the liveries that actually come with the Fenix A320. So yeah, we're flying the Airbus A320 from Fenix again, because it's a really cool aircraft and I want to get to know it a little bit better. I've already done some experience, of course, in the A321X by the fly-by-wire mod, which is actually a really cool aircraft too. I believe that is the next engine option, the Neo, and this one is a slightly different version. I always forget what it is. Anyway, so we got the flight plan loaded in and everything, and let's have a look. APU APU flap open. APU is available, so we can turn on the APU bleed now. Let's have a look at the temperature inside the aircraft. What the hell, man? 37 degrees? Kidding me? What is the temperature here, man, in Brussels? This doesn't make any sense. Stand by. Let's have a look at the weather. This is all here in the EFB. Oh, I should have a quick here. Let's see, it's 13 degrees at the moment. So outside temperature should be 13 degrees. That seems to add up. 37 inside. Okay, so this is so interesting. I don't assume the APU bleed has anything to do with it, does it? Let's have a look, see if anything changed. Cold, cold, cold. 35. This is definitely going down. So I think, if I understand correctly, the lower numbers are what is dialed in. Although 9 degrees, no. It's interesting to see. Let's have another look here at the. I mean, it's it's below medium, so I'm not going to tamper with it. Maybe this will settle down in a couple of minutes, but this is seriously warm, man. But it's interesting. I'd like to find out what's going on here. So if anybody has some idea, leave a comment, please, in the section below. And yeah, if you can, please explain. I'm thinking they're adding. No, I don't know. Nah, I'm not going to think. I'm not going to go there. Okay, so anyway, we got real world time and real world weather, obviously here in Brussels, Belgium. So let's get ready, and we need to do our takeoff briefing actually quickly. I think for the rest everything should be fine, right? Yeah, so before we start the engines, let's prepare the rest for now first. Let's have a look. I'm just randomly clicking these buttons, well, relatively randomly, that is. We lock the flight deck, reset the rudder, arm the ground spoilers, and the flaps can go to the 1 position, which we will be using for our takeoff for today's flight. We'll be using a flex temperature of 68 degrees Celsius for the engines, and what's going to be our squawk code 3125. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so we got some squawk code in there, some generated by ourselves. So before we start the engines, let's quickly have a look at the departure. Maybe not here, Arkady. So we go to the Navigraph. I have an account with Navigraph, which is very nice. Now we do need to know which is our departure. Let me quickly check off the screen so we do not have to change screens here in the sim all the time. It is the P-Test 7 Foxtrot departure from 01. P-Test to Golf. Let's have a look. P-Test 7 Foxtrot. That was it, right? Yep, P-Test 7 Foxtrot departure. So let's put a star there. Okay, so let's have a look at our departure. And we should be able to see transition altitude 4500. I believe this was automatically set in the MCDU on the performance page, 4,500 transition altitude. And let's have a look at what is our initial climb. Initial climb clearance, flight level 60, higher level by Brussels departure. Okay, so let's just start at 60, and then after that we'll just go straight to our cruising altitude of 350, 350, flight level 350, 350,000 feet. Okay, so we got our departure checked. Let's have a look maybe at what we can expect. I mean, obviously the aircraft's going to fly basically all by itself anyway. We got the Holdenburg VOR here. I think from the looks of it, this is RNAV. No, don't think so. Okay, so runway 01, we'll take off. 028 degrees, we turn right, so heading 174. It's actually an inbound radial 354 for the Holdenburg. There you should be below, above flight level 60. And when QNH is lower than 977 hectopascal, then you should be at flight level 70. I think we are. Let's have a look. Oh, this is no. Okay, no worries. Okay, what else can we see? We go to Ramba, and then let's zoom out a little bit. There's actually another VOR, and then two Peters. Alright, sure. Well, the aircraft's going to fly it on its own anyway. But it's always good to have some idea, obviously. At least in flight sim world. In the real world, it's going to be totally different. You have to be able to fly the entire departure by yourself. So that's definitely something that we'll try later. The temperature seems to have settled. Cockpit 22 degrees, forward 23 and aft is 24. So that seems all under control now. So not really sure why it was so enormously hot in the cabin there. It was like people must have been sweating. Okay, so I think then one last thing. We're not done with the charts yet because we need to know where we are on the airport. So we go to the Brussels and the ground charts. And let's have a look. Airport. I think this is it. Okay, so we're right there. Let's zoom in a little. Can we collapse this? Yes, that's nice. Okay. So we're here on the south apron, I think you can call it. So we're going to push back. Let's push back with the nose facing the east, and then it's going to be fairly simple. We'll be facing the runway. This should be runway 01. Yes. So basically we'll just drive here and let's have a look how we're going to do this. So I think we can stick on this side and then Charlie 6, Delta 2, and then we go there. Looks easy enough. So now let's just go and start up the aircraft. Engine number 2. We could maybe in the meantime actually start the pushback. So you go to the EFP and to ground services, and there you can say connect tug. And there you go. The tug is now coming. That's pretty cool. Let's remove the GPU. External power is off, and let's also just remove it from here as well. That's the clicking noise, so it means the engine number 2 was started, so we're going to start up engine number 1. And let's start our pushback. So we're going to push, maybe the parking brake. Let's release the parking brake, shall we? Do not want to damage anything. Okay, so start, I think it's pushing back, very good. It's a little dark to see, so I'm not really sure when to turn. Watch out for the car. Engines starting up, which is good. And probably hit this button. Yeah, that was the right one. It's always a little bit tricky. There's the other clinking noise again. So we got two running engines. The N1 is at 18.4, 18.3 for engine number 2. Exhaust gas temperature is still rising. Now, all looking good. There's the green light for us to follow, and we're going that way, I guess. And I think this is enough for the taxi. So we do stop. It is not stopping, no, so stop. Stop please, thank you. And no tog available. I said the tog is disconnected, very good. So let's immediately engage the parking brake. Where are you? Okay, parking brake set. Okay, so I think we're almost done. Let's turn on some external lights. There we go. We can see a little bit now. So we're almost good to go. I would like one more look here at the charts for the taxiing. I get confused really easily. So we do not go straight. We take basically our first option to the right. Now let's have a look what we see when we get there. Maybe we can zoom in and we could. It's a little bit cheating maybe to use this as a guidance. Actually, if there's an option to turn off the can we do night charts? Well, that's pretty cool. It would be nice if there's an option to turn off the location, just like you can in the Navigraph plugin, if you want to call it that. You can turn that off here in the top right. Anyway, we won't be using that for now. Let's just go ahead, and I believe maybe I would at some stage have to calibrate the throttle quadrant, because now it's a little bit funny. As you can see, it's having a bit of a hard time when just trying to push it forward just a little bit. And I do not see a yellow line to follow. Let's see if we can use this one. That's probably it, but this is taking us here, so let's just follow the yellow line. And then I believe we take a right here then. Oh, there's a Croatia Airlines there. I think that's Croatian Airlines. So we should be good. Is there any way to identify where we are just by looking? I always find this a little hard to read in this game. But I guess we should be doing fairly well. Let's have a look here quickly. Yeah, looks spot on. Then I believe we take the right one. the right one here. Oh, it seems to oversteer sometimes. It's really funny. I'm not sure why that is. So maybe it's just more realistic. It could be, and I'm used to being not that realistic, perhaps. I'm not sure. Let's have a look where we enter the runway. Don't think we enter here, do we? Let's quickly double check. So we take a left. No, let's have a good look. Yeah, we take a left and then a right turn, and then we continue south. So let's do that. Go left here, and then we take a right turn. Yeah, so it actually just so happened for today's flight that you did not witness the complete startup of the aircraft. It's actually because I was actually doing other things, and we're going to cross. Well, yeah, actually I should have known, because there was a sign there. Hope we're still good. I believe I just didn't. Yeah, obviously we're crossing the runway there. Okay. Caught me a little bit by surprise. Okay, so here's the end of, so we're clear of the runway 25 right, I believe it was. So we're getting ready now, so let's reduce speed a little bit and quickly turn on the landing lights and the takeoff lights. Nice, so let's have a look. Not sure if there is any incoming traffic. We got real world traffic in the sim, so that's always interesting. So we will turn on the maximum brake, and let's test for takeoff configuration. And appears to be normal, so that's positive, that's good. So let's just line ourselves up and get this sucker going. So yeah, it's a night flight, so probably we will not see too much of the beautiful landscape surrounding Zürich airport in Switzerland. Oh wait, there is actually an aircraft coming. Let me stop. I think it's doing a go around. Yeah, there you go. Sorry, aircraft. Okay, that was a little bit, well, it was hard to see, and there's no traffic control, obviously. So that's what they do. I noticed this is actually a real world aircraft landing here right now, which now actually should have landed. But in the sim they just do it so, and it will do a go around. Okay, setting the parking brake, and engines go to the idle. Let's turn off the packs for the takeoff. APU bleed, APU can go. We got all the lights. We already tested, so we should actually be good to go. Is there anything I want to brief for myself? We take off, basically we engage the autopilot as soon as we're airborne, and we just take it from there. So 140 is V1, 140 is rotate, 143 is RV tilt speed. You can see this right here. Transition level, transition altitude 4,500 feet. So from there we will immediately switch to the standard QNH. And I think that should be it. So we're doing flex takeoff temperature, 68 degrees. So instead of going full toga thrust, we go to flex MCT setting right here, this one, and it will save a lot of fuel. So in that sense, we're saving virtual fuel, if you will. So I guess any fuel saving in these days is useful. What you think? Okay. If you bear with me 1 second. Okay, my apologies. I'm back already. Okay, so I think that is it. So let's just stop procrastinating and just go. Okay, so thrust is set. Stick halfway forward, and we can slowly release it from 80 to 100 knots. Speed 120, V1, rotate, rate it up to about 17 degrees. We got positive rate. Gear up, please. Gear is coming. So we got no red lights, so the gear is up. Thrust lever should now go to climb. Thrust lever to climb. We engage the autopilot now. And this will now start flying for us our departure here from Brussels. Took a right turn, and momentarily we will retract the flaps. The takeoff light can go off, and the runway light as well. Flaps can go up. Thrust lever is to climb. Master caution, air pack 1 and air pack 2 is off, that's correct. We cancel out the warning. So we're turning on the packs now. And we're seeing the flashing here, 4,500 feet. So we switch to the standard QNH. We do this on both ends, both sides, the pilot monitoring and the pilot flying. Speed mode, alt star, so we're reaching 6,000 feet. And we're just going to press on now. And we're going straight for 3,500. And the aircraft is now taking us higher. Let's see if we can have a look from inside the cabin. nice wing view. So this is Brussels by night. See, can we see anything more maybe from this window? It is just so cool that the entire world was recreated in this game. It's absolutely amazing. Seriously amazing stuff. So it looks like we're the only passengers. I accidentally turned off the autopilot, I believe. Yep. So let's quickly re-engage it. Fortunately, without any problems, so that's working. Okay, so let's focus a little bit more now. So our speed is 250, which is okay. Still following. Let's have a look. This is not a nice angle. This is what I want. So we're following navigation. We're still climbing. We got a positive climbing rate as well. We're at 10,000 feet. So I'm going to turn off the landing lights, and also the passenger the seatbelt sign is also okay. The packs are already on, and then for the after takeoff checklist, I believe the ground spoilers you can disarm. The mode selector for the engines goes back to norm, and the flaps are already up. And I guess we can open the cockpit door now if you want. Let's have a look on this side. Oh, looks like... was it our airport? No. Would it be possible? Oh, I've been doing it again. Yeah, that's something with the, maybe I should change something in my settings, but blink using the controller, and sometimes when translating the camera like this, I may let go a little too soon. Anyway, so we're doing our departure. We're still climbing, and I wanted to check, can we turn off the cabin lights? I think we should have actually turned off this, but this is not the cabin lights. And for now it actually is okay. I believe we can, if I'm not mistaken. This could be maybe done from here. Let's have a look, maybe settings. So brightness, navigation, chart mode, day and night, look, sim settings. Maybe it is sim settings. Cabin lights. So if we turn cabin lights off, what is this going to do for us? Oh, that's really dark. Well, that is pretty cool, man. Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm really liking this. That is so awesome. And that's it. You take off, and there you are, in the skies. Here's a view from the wing, and a view from I don't know, maybe it's business class or it's near the business class. Okay, great. And there's the moon. That's really nice. Okay, so let's have a look. What can we expect now? This is the top of our climb. We're on our way to RILAX. We're 134. We're 37 nautical miles. Should be arriving there in about 5 minutes. Today's flight en route time was, I believe, 1 hour 20 minutes or something. Let's have a look. Air time is 50 minutes, so that's not too crazy. But good, because I also have a life. Some stage I need to go to sleep, you know. So we're at 20,000 feet. Still climbing for flight level 350. Thrust is still to climb. So I think there's not a lot we can do at this moment. Let's see if we can look ahead a little bit more. Oh, that is a lot more. So yeah, look, it's not going to be a very long flight. At some stage we'll need to start descending as well. Another court after this. flight entertainment, brought to you live by your personal funky sim pilot. So I'm really liking this view, people. It's really cool. Really cool. I totally dig that you can turn off the lights here in the cabin and you know, see if you can go up a little bit there. You know what? I think they have a toilet. Let's see if we can how far we get when we translate. This is always scary because now I'm using the see, let's quickly go. There you go. I thought so. So let's re-engage the autopilot. Oops. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, Arkady, chill. Let's have a look. What should be 115. Okay, so yeah, that was scary. Sometimes this happens. I accidentally, as I explained, turn off the autopilot because there's an override. So I think there is something you can configure how quickly it will disengage the autopilot or something. So maybe there is something. I'll look into that. So the speed's 280. That's not very fast. Let's zoom in. See what we can expect now. And I guess we should also start preparing for our arrival. Looks like this is going to be our stop of descent, so that is fairly soon. So I guess the speed for now is fine. I was just wondering if there's anywhere that you can see speed constraint, but doesn't look like it. For ground speed, let's move down 1 second. Ground speed 484. I guess it's fine. So we are 39 nautical miles from Ladat, and so let's just have a look at our descent and our landing, our arrival. So we go to the let's go to the pilot brief first, and let's have a look at what is the flight plan. So our routing, RILAX 2 Alpha for 28. So we click arrival. We look for the RILAX 2 Alpha, which is this. We put a little star there, and what we'll do is also have a look at the approach, which will be, let's see, 428. There's an ILS or localizer, so that's precisely what I want. So let's put a star there as well. Maybe we need to go to this one and then to start charts. There you go. Okay, so let's start with the initial approach. Get this out of the way for now. So what are tail angles here? Max 250 knots below 1000 feet, or flight level 100. Airport elevation is at 1417 feet. Transition level, what's the transition altitude? Maybe on the other chart. It will definitely be on the other chart, but we'll look at that in a second. RILAX to Alpha, you fly to LAMGO, then to Almiki. So LAMGO. What are we looking at? Well, obviously we come from here, yes. Looking the wrong direction. Yeah, so we're coming from here, max flight level 240 at RILAX, where we'll turn left 138 degrees. Follow the RILAX to Alpha arrival to LAMGO. See, is there any other constraints? So where's the airport? This is our airport, isn't it, or not? I'm getting a little bit confused, which is always fun. I would assume this would be our airport, but it would mean like what? You fly here and then take a turn? Well, it could be, I don't know. We'll have a look. Basically what they said, to LAMGO, then to Amiki. So that's precisely what we're going to do. To LAMGO and then to Amiki, which is a really short 6.1 nautical miles. At Amiki we need to be 7,000 feet, not below. And at the RILAX we need to be at max 240, so that's 11,000 difference from where we are now. So 11 times 3 is 33, so about 34 nautical miles, I believe, before we reach RILAX. We should start our descent. So let's have a look at RILAX, and we need to enter the destination data as well. So we go to the progress page, we enter in RILAX, we are 86 nautical miles from RILAX, so we do have some time to set up our the aircraft for the arrival at Zürich airport. So we go to the performance page and we click next phase and again next phase until we reach the approach page here on the MCDU, and we'll look up the data. So to do that we will go to the to my flight, and we go to the arrival meter. It's retrieving. Let's refresh anyway. So we're looking at wind variable 05 knots. Not sure how to put in variable, how that works. 16 degrees QNH 1022. QNH 1022. And temperatures 16. And then, does it work? Variable? How do they shorten that? VRB 05. We could try maybe, but not sure if that's going to work. VRB, probably not. VRB / 05. No, that's a format error. So I'm not really sure what they want then. That's an interesting question. If anyone knows the answers, please let me know. Let's see, what does this say? Okay, so we could choose 020 at 4 knots. Really? And we're landing on 28? 020, no, let's just do it. 020 at 4 knots. 020 at 4 knots. There we go, that's set in. Transition flight level. Now we're going to check the other chart. Go to the Navigraph. We expand and we check the ILS chart. So we will be coming from the right, Amiki. How is this going to look? Let's have a look. So I guess from Amiki, our initial approach fix, IF, so the aircraft's probably just going to go down. Well, it has a route in there anyway. But there is some high terrain here. Max 230 knots, max flight level 240. Well, obviously we're not going to be that high there. We'll be around 7,000, I believe. Max 210 knots on the approach, 273 degrees. This should be picked up once we arrive in the red nav page. Apologies. Let's look. 5,000 feet is our intercept altitude for the glide slope. And what does this say? Let's have a look at transition altitude 7,000 feet. So I believe that was correct. There you go. Landing configure. Let's see. Oh, so you can choose what is. Now we're going flaps full. Okay. So radio or baro, but maybe we do not have to put it in. What is this? Let's just put in 2300 or maybe 2102. Position altitude 2102. Let's see. I'm not really sure what to make of this. I'm sticking with 2300. The engine is going down a little bit. Let's see what happens if we do this. 2300, and we put it on radio. Okay, so at least we put in some data, so that is something. And I think we should start our descent now. Let's go to the progress page. Not yet, we said 34 nautical miles, so we got a little more time to relax. There you go. That was funny. Okay. I would still like to find out how the aircraft is actually going to fly all the altitudes on its own. It says here it wants to be at flight level 170, for instance, when we reach RILAX. Is it going to do that? It looks like it's in managed mode now. So yeah, so I'm not really sure how that works. But I'm going to descend anyway because it looks. This feels like we're way too close, and sometimes I turn out to be right. So what I'll do is 240. Thrust idle. Descent mode. I'm still following navigation. So it's good, and you can see actually the green dot. I think this is our vertical descent profile, and we're now slightly about to overtake it, I believe. So that would be optimum. We'll be a little bit below, rather a little bit below than above. When you're above, you have like a high energy descent or high energy approach. And it's always difficult to bleed off all the excess energy the aircraft is making when it's falling to the earth. Nice little external view here. So all the cabin lights turned off for this night flight. We're still on the right on the descent profile, as it would seem, if I interpret this green dot correctly, and I believe I do. And also believe the aircraft is figuring that we will reach our, if I understand correctly, our 240 right there at the blue little arrow. RILAX. For now there's nothing much to do. Let's check the RadNav page. So apparently this just picks up all the viewers in the neighborhood. I hope I'm not saying any nonsense here. We still got 3,740 kilograms of fuel on the board, so it's good. Company message I'm going to disregard for now. Let's turn back to the progress page. We are 31 nautical miles from RILAX. And let's stay ahead of the game. Not that ahead. Let's look at the approach again. Or the initial approach, if you will. So we are on our way to RILAX, and our next altitude constraint will be 7,000. So I think at RILAX we're immediately going to go to 7,000. Max flight level is 240, so we are actually allowed to go lower. So I think I'll do that just to be safe, on the safe side. So let's do 12,000 feet of flight level 120. Thrust is set to idle. We're in descent mode. We are still following the vertical approach profile, I would think. So hopefully this is good news. We aim for a nice approach, obviously. That makes your landing all the better. So we got 4,500 peak there, 9,200, so we do not want to fly into this, I guess. But that looks correct. So from let's see, LAMGO, Amiki. So from Amiki, we're not allowed to go below 7,000 at that point. And after that, we will turn on the localizer. It will intercept the runway and will be ready for the glide slope. So now 20,000 feet or flight level 20. Still descending. And our destination is slowly coming into view. There is Lima Sierra Zulu Hotel, which is Zürich Airport in Switzerland, which is our final destination for today's flight. So, and then there Amiki 7,000. Okay. So let's see if we can do some quick math again.
we enter Amiki and we replace RILAX for Amiki. We're 33 nautical miles. Our current altitude 18,000, so that is 30 plus 24 is 54, so 54, 55 nautical miles from Amiki we should start our descent. So that would mean, if I do the math correct, then we're already way too high. So what I will just do, 7,000, and just go there right away. Let's see what this does. Okay, so it does definitely look like we are now under the descent profile. Let's see if we now turn to managed mode, but still 7,000. Is that going to change anything? It looks like it's trying to follow the vertical navigation there now, a little more precise, perhaps. But can we turn on terrain maybe? Probably could be handy in these areas. I will actually go to a manual descent mode, so we will be below the descent profile a little bit. But yeah, just I'm not very familiar with the area, and obviously not very familiar with the aircraft either. So I'd rather be a little bit more safe than sorry. I mean, we got 149 passengers on board, so you know what I mean. Okay, so 7,000 feet, here we come, man. If I look here, zoom in, it looks like it's saying, if I'm correct, that we will reach 7,000 feet only once we are there. Which could maybe still be fine. The airport elevation was 1417, I believe. 1417, there you go. And you can see us now here, this little dot, or little arrow, if you will. There you go. On our way to LAMGO and then to Amiki. So what's our current altitude? 11,000. It is still saying we are below the descent profile. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Is there anything else we can do now? We're definitely getting closer to the ground. Most of this has been set up now. At 10,000 feet we will turn on the landing lights, and we will also engage or turn on the seatbelt signs. Let's start with this. So everybody return to your seats. We're about to get ready for our arrival into our destination, Zürich Airport. So the local time in Zürich Airport today will be, well, depending on what time we arrive precisely, but it is now 23:52. The temperature will be something. Let's just get the meter. Well, have to rack my blades. It's 16 degrees at the moment, and looks like we got a nice open sky. It's a beautiful night. Okay, so LAMGO, Amiki, 4.2 nautical miles. The descent profile is looks like it's catching up with us a little bit. We're definitely getting closer to the airport. I'm going to turn on the landing system. Fortunately, it is not picking up yet. Oh, it is actually. I'm looking in the wrong box. So we're 18.4 nautical miles from touchdown. I will also turn on the localizer. Just arm it. It's a little premature perhaps. It will still follow this probably, and then after this turn it will pick up and it will box itself in. So we're thrust idle, open descent, 8,300, but it's still okay. I believe this is a maximum altitude, or minimum altitude, rather. We should not be below. And then 5,000. So let's just put it in immediately. 5,000 feet. And let's get this sucker down. So we're below 10,000. So let's turn on the landing lights. Forgot it a little bit. So this is always a nice part of the flight because things, you know, start happening all of a sudden, like a lot faster, you know. So QNH was 1022, I believe. Yeah, 1022. So we're going to set the local QNH 1022, and we'll also do this for the pilot monitoring 1022. Set this light in and confirmed. Let's have a look. I'm going to do all the checks now. Turn on all the lights, and also start up the APU. APU starting up. I'm checking because I'm not really sure if it is. No, the flap is not open, so maybe. Yeah, now the flap is open. Okay, so the APU is starting. There you go, the exhaust gas temperature is rising. Alright, that's good, that's under control. We do have a little to go. 5,000 feet. Localizer is not intercepted yet. There is actually the glide slope, so we want to be below the glide slope. Our speed is managed, 210 knots, it's good news. I think we can extend the flaps to 1. We'll also turn on the speed brake to max for landing and arm the ground spoilers, and we lock the flight deck just in case. Localizer is intercepted, so I'm going to press approach button, and we will also go to the performance page. It's already on approach, so that's good. So the aircraft is ready for the approach. We are 9.6 nautical miles out. We're about ready to deploy flaps 2. There at the airport, beautiful. Flaps 2. 2,500. 2,500. 100 above. This is all fine. Let us 100 above. Do like this. 100 above. 100 above, minimum. That's fine. Minimum, sure, that's all okay. I'm not too worried about that. Let's have a quick look outside. Okay. That's looking good. What is our speed? Speed is dropping, so that's also good. Let's do flap 3. With 6.5 nautical miles, I'm going to extend the gear. Gear is coming. turn off the terrain. Speed 140. We're going to go flaps full. 5.3 nautical miles. APU bleed is on, so let's prepare the crew for landing. Cabin crew, please prepare for landing. The gear is down, 3 green lights. Is this now not engaging? Oh, this is the wrong button. That's so stupid. We need the low brakes. Good that I double checked that. Alright, so speed is nice and slow. I believe our approach speed was 136. It says there 136. Okay. It's all looking good. And now I'm looking for the optimum viewpoint, if you will. For now, it is actually set up for an auto landing.
500.
500 feet. Here's Zürich, everybody. Stand by to disengage the autopilot. Might be a little bit high. Autopilot disengage. Oh, not fully. Autopilot disengage. Cancel the warning.
40, 30, 20, retard.
Let's set it down easy.
10,
Touchdown. Reversers are out. knots. 60 knots. The engines can go to idle. The flaps can be retracted. And which side do we exit? Let's go left. Hopefully that's the right choice. Let's cut ourselves off the runway here. Flaps go up. And a little bit of forward thrust to taxi. So here we are. Looks like we survived the landing. It's always good news. So it was not a waste of an expensive Swiss International Airlines ticket. So first things first, we get ourselves off the runway. Okay, so Swiss 812 runway vacated. Alright, so we're taxiing. We could maybe stop for a second and have a look and orient ourselves. It's always good advice to do this before you land, obviously. Let's turn off some things here. Flight directors and the landing system can go off. The constraints can go off as well. And let's look. Maybe the yeah. Let's do this as well. Landing lights go off. Oops. Come on. There you go. Landing lights are off. Let's have a look outside for a second. Here we are. Swiss International Airlines back in Zürich at its hub. Beautiful, beautiful. So what does this say? Vertical speed minus 100. How do we get rid of all this? Why is it blinking at us? Out of flight, autopilot off. Yeah, I wanted the autopilot off actually, so that should be fine. Okay, anyway, what was I saying? My apologies if I was babbling here a little bit. Let's have a look at the charts. And let's see if we can find our way to the gate. So we go to ground charts. My apologies for Zurich Airport. Parking stand coordinates. No, I don't think we need the coordinates. Parking stand is not this one. This could be it. Let's see. This restrictions for the A380. Airport info. Yeah, this is our chart. And let's turn on daylight charts maybe for now. Charts. No difference. Oh, well, there you go. Okay. Let's have a look. We just landed at runway 28 and we vacated the runway from the Lima 9 intersection at the very end of the runway, and then we'll just carry on, and I think we should be able to find a parking place right there. So we just go straight and we cross runway 34 and 16. And after that we continue on Echo 7, and then we just park probably there somewhere. Maybe let's like there somewhere. Oh, there you go. Nice little arrow. Okay. And while we're drawing in gray, let's just go like this. There you go. Alright, looking good. So releasing the parking brake. So welcome to Zurich, everybody. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop at the gate and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Don't forget your luggage in the overhead compartment. While opening the overhead compartment, always be aware that things might have started to become loose and things may fall in your face. So just be aware, just think. You know, like we're pilots, we do this stuff, we do this every day, okay? So we know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? You know, so you just listen up and you look up, especially. We got a vehicle, we got a rogue vehicle here on the. Oh, look at that. Okay, so here's the warning for the crossing of the runway. I'm just going to assume that nothing's going to try and land here now. We're taxiing 40 knots, which is a little on the high end, high side. There you go, Flughafen Zurich. Beautiful, man. Really cool. Really, really cool. Okay, so let's watch our speed a little bit. It's nice, nicely lit here. I'm really appreciating this. It's really cool. Some airports you already land in the flight sim, because you don't see very much. So before we turn in there, let's turn off the nozzle steering lights. Please do it fast, because I'm not looking out of the window now. There we go. Let's see, where can we yeah, we'll take this one. And what was it warning? We'll look at that later. Oops, oh, stop, it's oversteering. think it's doing its oversteering again on the ground. It's always a little funny. See, like as if it does not want to reset itself or something. Okay, so here we are, gate Bravo 35. Looks so cool, man. Okay, so we'll stop. The parking brake is set. What was the message here that we were getting? Brakes are hot. Deploy TO for cool. So we got the brake fan. We can have a look at the gear. That's actually interesting. My apologies. So what are the wheels? What's the wheel page? Okay, well, yeah, doesn't appear very hot anymore, but maybe, anyway. So yeah, here we are. So we have wheel stop. Engine goes to idle. A little late, actually, but let's turn on the lights. And let's also turn on the lights in the cabin. So if people want to get out of the aircraft, they can see what they're doing. Scene settings, you go to cabin, and we do cabin lights. So there's now lights inside the cabin. There you go. And let's connect the jetway. You go to ground services and toggle jetway. And the jetway, there you go, it is now coming to welcome us. That's very nice. The door opens automatically. This is all really cool. Now I'm wondering, is there a way to actually unload the aircraft? And that would be really cool. Because we could load it. Is there that? Actually, I would totally love it if you can now say, well, now let's unload, you know? Let's maybe just start by turning off the seatbelt sign. Oh, it's getting a little bit laggy. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Let's just see if we can end this stream in some dignity. Seatbelt sign is off. Okay, everybody, you're free to go. And go and do some Swiss stuff in Switzerland. See, do they have a ground power unit available? External power does not appear to be present. We could maybe see if we can request it. Ground services, GPU. So ground power unit is now connected. And now if we go to mass and balance, would there be any option? Aircraft loaded. I would totally love it. I'm going to have to Google this. Is it possible to unload as well? I just would totally love it. That's all I can say. Alright, so the master caution, this one can go off. The door, what does it say actually? Door left for cabin. Yeah, okay. Now we can go to the doors page. You can see we got the cabin door on the front left is open. And that's actually the only door that we'll be using to disembark from the aircraft. So let's turn off the engines. Start with engine number 1. Oh, that was stupid of me because I think... Oh no, we actually have APU, so that's no problem. And external power is available. So external power is now on, so we can turn off the APU. No longer needed. So engine number 1 is shutting down. Engine number 2. this say? Arrived. Commence deboarding. Look at that. Deboard. So is this 149 are going to change to 148 soon? Yes, there you go. That's so cool. There you go. Oh, it's amazing, man. Really nice, really nice. Okay, that's such a nice little detail. Totally love this. Is there anything else we can do here? I don't think there really is. We can open the door now to the flight deck. Maybe some kid wants to come in, have a look, chat with us, take a picture. Oops. Oh, let's put this back. See what else there. You can turn off the TCAS system. Oops. Oh man, come on. What does this do? Does it do anything? No. Get this out of the way, sure. Let's see if we can open a window. Just because we can. Oh, that sound. That's pretty cool, man. So this is the ground power unit, I believe, that you hear. The high whirring noise. So this earlier. Oh, oops. Does it do anything? Or is it just... I don't think, probably this doesn't do anything. No, okay, that's fine. Yeah, let's just open up this window too. Just because we can. We can say hi to the ground crew. And yeah, so the lights maybe, so the engines are off. Ground control light, guess they can go on. Beacon light can go off. I think we stretch about, or we could stretch for the ending of this flight. Let's have a look outside. So Zürich Airport, everybody. Welcome to Zürich. Actually, I think we're going to have to close this one because I do need to have a look. Is this enough? Yeah, this is enough. So let's have a look at the deboarding. Okay, so everybody is deboarded. That's really quickly, but sure, it's done. So yeah, that's cool, man. That's it. It was a good flight. I enjoyed it a lot. Hope you did too. Leave a comment, say hi, sing a song, whatever. Send me your poetry. Anything that inspires you, embrace it. And thank you very much for checking. Hopefully see you sometime real soon. I am your personal funky scene pilot. My name is Arkady Gidzenko. And everybody stay sweet and kind to one another. And remember, there is still war out there. And yeah, do not forget, this guy can do really crazy things, and lots of people can do really crazy things. I do not like to be very political. I'm not very political anyway, but I don't know. I felt like saying it. I guess don't know why really, but I don't care. It's a message of peace and of love. So you know, there should always be place for that, in my opinion. Flughafen Zurich, really cool. Did not expect this to look like this here. Actually, very cool. Okay, so anyway, thank you very much again, and see you sometime soon. Everybody stay safe, and everybody stay happy, and keep on loving.